Remember when you got your very first modulation or delay pedals, something outside of overdrive or distortion, and you started turning on the knobs and playing different things, and maybe it inspired you to write something different or just play a little bit differently than what you would normally do? Well, today we're going to kind of do the same sort of thing, but in a little different direction. So we're going to start with the Terraform and Metaverse. So obviously that's something that I wouldn't play if I didn't have a bunch of chorus or a bunch of delay, and certainly wouldn't play it if I had like a fuzz pedal on or an overdrive or distortion and just more of a dry sound, right? Because it's really kind of tailored more towards having different things going on, with the guitar, like the modulation, like the different types of delays. But what happens if you wanted to control all these different parameters? Like, let's say I wanted to turn 5 knobs at one time. Well, there are expression pedals you can kind of do. You can turn a knob with an expression pedal. Sometimes you can assign it to a couple different parameters, but it's really hard to control what you're doing there without some programming behind it. And some pedals just don't have that capability. But let me show you what we did with these 2 pedals here recently that I think you're going to dig. So let's start with the Terraform here. So I'm going through my Bravado amp still, but no pedals in front of it. Just going through a 2 notes captor and then into my DAW. Now let's add a little bit of delay to it. So I have the Terraform plugin going into the Metaverse delay. And this is set up, so a mono track, right? Because my guitar is going into one track, one guitar amp, so mono. But I'm taking the plugin and I'm basically making it a stereo track. Let's do the same thing. All right, so now we're going to set up automation. So in Logic, we're going to click on this button right here, and this is going to allow us to basically say, at this part of the track, we're going to lower this knob, and maybe this other knob, and also this other part, we're going to change yet a different knob position. And I say knob, it's a plugin, right? So what would normally be in the knob on the pedal? So how do you do that? You do that by basically assigning it whichever parameter you want to assign here. So maybe with this particular pedal, the Terraform, we have a horn speed, we have the woofer speed. So I'm on the rotary setting. So think of a Leslie cabinet. You have the subwoofer, you have the tweeter, or the horn, and they're both spinning, right? Depending on the type of Leslie cabinet. They're both spinning. So those knobs are really going to kind of simulate the rate at which they're spinning, but we can automate that. So let's say that we want that horn to slow down and maybe we want the woofer to stay the same or vice versa, or maybe both, or maybe who knows what, just depending on what you want in the song. And then also we have this blend or within the actual plugin, it's called mix, but it's right there in mix, but it's just the blend. So not blend like a clean blend, blending on this effect, blending between like the woofer over to the tweeter. So when this blend is right in the middle, the sound levels are equal from the tweeter and the woofer. So if we turn this blend way down, if we turn it way up, then if it's all the way down, it's like all woofer, all the way up, all tweeter. Those are just all things that we can automate while we're writing a song or recording or even just practicing or messing around. So let me do some real quick automation and we'll run through this and I'll show you what it's going to do. And you'll be able to see these knobs while these parameters are changing. You'll be able to see them change at the same time. Okay, so now we have the Metaverse and the Terraform both set up. Now we're going to go through the same process here. We're going to go up here and select the automation. We can go through here and figure out which knobs we want to move, virtual knobs we want to move for the Terraform, which virtual knobs we want to move for the Metaverse. So you can have a lot of automation going on. And though it can be overkill and you can overdo this, it's still a lot of fun to be able to control things, especially in the process of creating something cool. So therefore, maybe you have a part of a song where you really, for the most part, you want the volume down on the delay and maybe you want a lower time, but then you get to something that you want to be a little bit more dramatic. And so you might change the time, you might change the feedback, you might change the volume, maybe you even give it some more modulation, all that stuff just in one little snippet of a song. So that's what this automation is really for. It's for doing all that without having to move a bunch of knobs all at one time, which you used to have to do in the analog days, right? You're trying to move all this stuff at just the right time, and it might take several people to do it. So this is automation. This is how we do it now, of course. And if you're familiar with DAWs and digital audio recording, you already know this. Let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and automate this real quick and just kind of get some funky stuff going on. Let's see what it sounds like. So here's my challenge to you. You can get these plugins for free basically right now. There's a 7-day trial where you download the plugin. The link's in the description. I'll have it here on the link here on the screen as well. Go to that URL, that website link, and you can get a 7-day free trial simply by downloading it. If you want to keep it, use this coupon code for 50% off. It's just get 50 off. So give it a try. You have nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose. And I think you'll honestly have a lot of fun, both creating something cool and just doing something a little bit different with guitar than we normally do with pedals. So hope you love it. See you next time with a new video.